YouTube.
What is up, y'all? We are back.
And we have another one of our random topics. We were looking at how, pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes work. And not the exact same thing, but the tactics and the structure behind it. It's like, that's kind of like how the organization runs itself.
Man, we always say that the organization does come up with some great tactics.
It does. It's a business.
It is. It's just a business. And same as all these other businesses, the top members pay out.
Yep, and the bottom people don't get much. And we'll just take a look at both and kind of compare it and go, are we tripping or is this kind of the same structure?
Yeah.
Now, for some, this may be shocking because we think, this is the truth. This is God's chosen religion. So we would never think to look at it from a business aspect or anything, or like the people up top taking advantage of the people at the bottom.
Yes, because they're put on such a pedestal, like the governing body members, they're put on a pedestal, especially whenever you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You're like, oh, they're so sweet. Like, they just mean well for us. We have to respect them. And you're kind of also, while you're in it, you're indoctrinated and bullied in a sense to respect them and to never question them, through the teachings and everything. So
yeah, they are God level basically.
Yes,
they're
it is very right, and it's very taboo to speak badly about any of them. Like that is, it gets pointed back at you. Like you're the wrong one if you speak badly about God's chosen people.
Right. So you're looking at how a pyramid scheme works. We'll pull this up. So a pyramid scheme is a fraudulent business model that involves recruiting new members to earn money rather than selling products or services to consumers. The scheme is called a pyramid because the number of investors increase at each level, with the initial promoters at the top. Now, you can kind of see the structure of it. The only difference is the physical money the Jehovah's Witnesses don't get to touch. Yeah. That's the main thing. But if we start at the very top of the pyramid, who's there?
The governing body.
The governing body members. And these are the ones that create all the rules, all the standards. Everything that everybody is to follow comes from these people at the top. And they also have the most. And after you have like some of the people in Bethel, and it comes down like your circuit overseers. We used to have like district overseers, but they got rid of that. I forget in what year. But all of a sudden, just think of us as Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah. We don't get to touch the people at the top.
Nope.
Every once in a while, they may come to a big assembly or something, but we get the representatives, and they help us to be better recruiters.
Yeah.
So the CEO comes, and we're so encouraged. The circuit overseer is here, and the CEO talks to the elders. Make sure they're doing everything they're supposed to be doing, because we only deal with the elders for the most part. On your daily routine or your weekly routine as a Jehovah's Witness is just the elders. So the CEO comes down, gets the elders in line. He may rearrange elders, put elders out, grab new elders. That way these people are the ones that give us our instruction. So you come down to your elders. The elders control the congregation. That's us. We don't have no say-so. Anything we want approval from, we got to go to the elders. If we make a mistake, we go to the elders. If we have an idea, brother so-and-so, is it okay if we do this? Do you think we're going to have this in the new system? Oh, I made a mistake. What should I do, brother so-and-so? Like, these are the ones in charge, and they would instruct us as the everyday Jehovah's Witnesses on recruiting.
Yeah.
But the thing about witnesses,
that's a good point.
You never ask them, or we would never look at ourselves as recruiting people.
No, you think that you're saving people.
That's the funny part.
And you know what? You do bring up a really good point, because the higher up that you get, the more benefits that you get too, like monetarily, which I didn't think about.
Touch on that.
Because, okay, even if for the traveling overseers and things, like the circuit overseers, like they get to stay at people's houses,
free.
Stay at the Kingdom Hall, they eat, like they get their, meals paid for whenever they're traveling. And they also get like a small stipend from Watchtower or whatever too, like per month. It's not a lot, but
in a car.
Yeah. So they do have like their own little benefits, and then you get up more to like people that are serving in Bethel. You have the ones that are like in house that they get 3 meals a day. You know, they don't have to worry about these outside things happening, and that's why whenever so many people had gotten kicked out of Bethel years back, they found themselves in a mess, you know, because they didn't know how to. It's like being in prison. Like, they didn't know how to function out here. Like,
for real. They had free everything.
Yeah.
They didn't really have no bills or nothing to worry about.
Right. So when you have Bethelites who have been there for decades, like, that's how they've been functioning for decades. They get their medical and everything, like, done right then and there. That's their job. That's their life.
Yep.
Period. They get cooked for, all the things. And then you have the governing body, which...
They chilling.
They're chilling. A lot of them have multiple real estate properties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, there is also kind of a payout financially as well, in a sense, or maybe not so much financially, but like just not having to worry about
most
day-to-day bills, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, because they're all there.
Yep, they're taken care of.
Yes.
Thanks to who?
Right. Thanks to the bottom members, like, that are putting in their hard-earned money and donating it to these congregations.
That's true. And you think about how many elders will pioneer. Usually a lot of their wives were the pioneers, but a lot of the elders didn't have to do as much footwork in service as everybody else. We had what's the coordinator?
Yeah.
I want to say the coordinator of our book study. Mm-hmm. When we would go on field service, he would always have something to do, or he had to jump in his car and ride around for something.
He'd always have
he would always have something to do while we doing the footwork. Like, he'd make sure we had the territories, and then if it was a Ohio State game that day, he was out. He would cut out early. Oh, the game is on. I gotta go. And at least he was honest about it. But even like a congregation picnic on a Sunday, all right, hi, bye. The game is on. I'm out.
Right.
See, even him just being a little higher up, who gonna tell him something?
Yeah.
He an elder.
And it's the same way, like, whenever you're at the assemblies and the conventions and stuff, if you have like a assignment to do, you don't get to just not pay attention. Like, you have to pay attention, have to be in there being indoctrinated. But the more jobs that you had to do, the less you had to be paying attention. And that's the truth.
That is the truth.
Yes, because if you had multiple assignments in one day, you weren't paying attention. I'm sorry. Like, you were focused on whatever assignment you were doing. Like, I remember I did first aid, I think 2 years. I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to my friends. I was like walking around. I was sitting there looking pretty. I putting a Band-Aid on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I had to do the guard the fire alarms at certain parts. We had to switch off, and it was cool not being to sit in the hallway.
Yes, and be able to stretch your legs. Like, oh my gosh, it was hard sitting in there for freaking 8 hours, 9 hours a day. That's
in them uncomfortable seats. And we can even look at, because, you know, I always try to think of everybody's perspective. Like, this is us as ex-JWs. Yeah. But let's look at it as I'm a Jehovah's Witness watching this. Well, what do they have to gain? Well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Now, look at it this way. We own a business, and we have some land. And we want not a house built, a building. A whole building done. So we want somebody to inspect. We want a plumber. We want carpenters. We want electricians. We want somebody to do the roof. We want all of this done. How much does it cost to get somebody, to get each, because this is not just one person doing everything. You need these group of people here to do this, a group here, a group there. You need to hire all these people.
Yes.
How much does an average company have to pay to get each group of people to do this type of work?
Hundreds of thousands.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
So this is the plot twist. The people up top, they put a message out to say, you know, especially for the young brothers, like when I was in the RBC, if you're young and you're in shape and you're not helping Jehovah build his homes, how does that make him feel? And now you feel a type of way like, dang, I am kind of young.
Yes.
Dang, I do wake up and go to work every day for Satan's world. And
slaving for Satan.
Yep, I'm slaving for Satan. And I got this whole weekend that I want to do things that I want to do, and there's places that need to be built for Jehovah. How does that make him feel? Am I going to make it to paradise?
Yes.
And they just feed this little guilt and fear into you as members. So the members will go, okay, and they go, and we even train you. Where else can you get free training besides Jehovah's organization? Okay, I can learn how to be a carpenter without going to school.
Yep.
But I can't go out in the world and use this, but I can use it in this organization. And that's how they trick all the members into free real estate.
Yes, babe, you
Think
bring
of
up
that.
such a good point, because you're not just paying with your money. You're paying with your time.
Worse.
And you're paying with free labor. You're paying with your back. You know what I mean? And you're not getting anything out of it except, oh, you get a fruitful association.
You
What?
get to go to paradise
Are
now.
you crazy? So they have gotten all of these buildings that they have built for free, HVAC'd for free, like all of these things, they've gotten it for free. They have like one person who is like a trained electrician or a trained like HVAC member, trained in roofing, like in the real world, who will teach this many brothers, oh, this is what we do. And then boom, they just kick it up.
They do it. Just think about that. An investment. You want 20 people to do plumbing or work on the plumbing, but you only have to pay one to get trained. Instead of having to pay all 20, I just invest my money into this one person. He'll pass the word down to 20 of y'all, and y'all knock this part out for me. I take this money, have this electrician brother tell another 20 of y'all what to do.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And a lot of times they're not even paying for their training. This is something that, you know how they sent out the letters from Bethel, like, oh, we're looking for lawyers, we're looking for electricians, we're looking for nurses.
Yeah, you done already paid yourself to learn this stuff.
Yes.
Yup.
In the real world, that was making you money. And now you're going to take the skills that you learned out here and take them into Jehovah's organization and use it for them. Like, they're literally profiting off of you in every way.
And the worst part about it, think about how many Kingdom Halls got sold that you worked on, that you were a part of. My family,
Get that back to me.
they were deeply into this. I forget what they changed the name to, but it was the RBC at the time. My granddad was going to New York to help with Warwick and stuff. And that's recently. My granddad's in the 70s now, going to help. And it's like, you spent all your hard-earned time to do this, and when it's time to sell it, you don't even get a cut.
Yeah.
They keep the money.
Oh, that's so, like, think about
It's
how
low down.
screwed up that is. You can't even put your money and like invest into, you know, the Jehovah's Witness organization to where you can buy some of the shares for whenever they do have, you know, when they sell things, you at least can get a profit from it or something, you know?
Yeah,
No,
you
they have
get
nothing
nothing.
like that set up.
And the worst thing about it, like you mentioned, at least with the pyramid scheme, people are investing money and hoping to get some money back. Because with money, when you lose money, you can replace it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the price is, you lose $100, you can get another $100 to replace it. But the worst thing about this organization, you are paying with your time.
Yeah, you're paying in every way. That, just like you said, at least with like a pyramid scheme, if you do get this many people in, then boom, you get a payout. You know what I mean? And now you have that payout coming to you like every month, as long as you keep those people in. Versus think about how many sisters there have been and brothers there have been that have brought in like a whole congregation of people. You know what I mean? 20 plus people throughout their lifetime as a Jehovah's Witness have brought that many Jehovah's Witnesses in. What do they get?
Nothing. You wasted your time.
They get nothing.
You wasted your whole life investing in something with they can't
No
pay you
return.
back what you invested. You can't say, all right, I wasted 30, 40, 50 years of my life. Can I get that back? And they go, okay, well, here's a check for 50 years of your life. It's not happening.
Yeah, not to mention, we've done a video before, but the Jehovah's Witness religion is literally the poorest religion when you're looking at all of the religions. You know what I'm saying? They're the poorest. So they're profiting off of you.
They are. I want to say one of the worst things about this, because we're comparing this to Ponzi schemes. If we are in a Ponzi scheme and we realize we got scammed, you're just done.
Yeah, you get to leave.
Yeah, you just leave. You know what, man? I got ripped off. I'm done. Let me go on with my life. And your family structure is still intact, everything like that. You just lost out on some money. The worst thing about this organization is that they have lifetime investors. So the people at the very bottom, the regular people at the congregation that all got recruited in and grabbed other members, when you find out this is nothing but a scam, unlike the Ponzi scheme, you can't just leave. It's easy. Sometimes you can if you're the only person in it in your family and everybody else in the organization is just people you met. Then it's a little easier for you to leave. But most Jehovah's Witnesses cannot just easily leave without having to pay some type of price.
You're paying a price.
You are.
To leave. And I think that's why they are so apprehensive when it comes to the shunning doctrine. They don't want to get rid of that.
No, for
they
what?
They can't get rid of that. If they get rid of their shunning doctrine, do you know how many members? It will be hard for them to retain their members.
Yeah.
That they do it through fear, through guilt, through their shunning doctrine. Because who doesn't want to be able to talk to their family and friends? Everybody wants to be able to talk to their family and friends. So a lot of people will risk it and say, you know what? Forget it. No, I don't believe in this stuff, but I'm gonna stay in for my family. We know people who have left till this day who tell us like, yeah, I'm thinking about going back. I'm just gonna go back and fade out. You know what I mean? So many people tell us that, and we don't judge them. We understand why.
Right.
You know
it's
what I mean?
ways everybody got their way of going out. Some people just go balls to the wall, man. I'm out. They make a big announcement. I'm out. This is fake, and however y'all feel, whatever. Yeah. And other people have to be a little strategic with how they swindle their way out.
Yeah.
You know, it all depends. But this is what they want. Like you said, the shunning thing, they are not trying to get rid of that because that's how we control you. That way, if you try to leave, we got something to dangle in front of you and say, you better off coming back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is why the Jehovah's Witness religion is worse than a Ponzi scheme, worse than a pyramid scheme. This is why it's a cult. Okay.
It is. I like how you quoted that.
It's the truth.
It is way worse than a Ponzi scheme. And the worst thing about it is the members have no clue. They are iffy about Ponzi schemes in real life. Anything that sounds like a Ponzi scheme. Oh, that sounds like a Ponzi scheme. My granddad, when we went to visit my aunt and uncle in Macon, Georgia, my granddad is super iffy about, you know, that generation with credit cards and stuff. We understand. Hey,
they say money is king.
Yeah, they worried about cards because we can, hey Chase, man, dispute this charge. Oh, okay, this fraud, boom. They take care of it. But that generation, my granddad was trying to find an ATM. And it was SunTrust Bank ATM. And he was like, oh no, this sounds like a Ponzi scheme. And my aunt is like, Dad, she's like, Dad, this is a real bank. I don't know. But it's like, granddad, you are elder. I wasn't woke at the time, but it's like, you are iffy. My granddad see something on the news one time. He was like, yeah, they saying there's people with binoculars that stand away from ATMs and they try to get your numbers and stuff. Like, Jehovah's Witnesses are that cautious with actual Ponzi schemes.
Yeah.
But not inside the cult they in.
Right. And that's not even a Ponzi scheme. It's a real bank.
Yeah, like he was so worried about that. Yeah, like, I don't want to swipe my card here. They are worried about the wrong things when they need to be worried about what's right in front of them.
They're in it.
They're in it.
I'll never forget, there was a doctor that I worked with, and we got in a religious topic, and I was a Jehovah's Witness, like, then. And I remember telling him, like, no, like, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. And he goes, oh, sweetheart, you are deep in the woods. And I was like, excuse me? But I will never forget him saying that to me. Like, it sticks in my head. It's been living in my mind rent-free for years.
Yeah, because he knew. That's the real thing. Jehovah's Witnesses, it's a saying, I want to say it was Jennifer Lewis. It's like, you've been swimming in sugar honey iced tea so long you can't even smell it. And that's the real thing. Like, you've been sitting in it for so long, anybody else can, man, what's that smell? But you don't smell it. You've been in it too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just something that we pointed out with this scheme.
I'm telling you.
The chain of commands.
Yes, you have to recognize a business for what it is. It is a business. And that's how a lot of these churches are. These mega churches and everything. Like, they love to hide behind the guise of, oh, spiritual food and God this and God that and God this.
Pay me.
Where's money?
Y'all at the bottom, pay me. And I'm going to look good, and I'm going to sell you a dream.
Oh, my gosh, I'm telling you.
Yep, that's all it comes down to. But let us know what y'all thought about this one here. Is this similar to a Ponzi scheme? It looked like it to us. Even the Jehovah's Witnesses. Let us know why you think it's not a Ponzi scheme or similar to a Ponzi scheme. Let us know in the comments. Hit us on our IG at Awaken Truths IG. And don't forget our TikTok, and that's at Awaken Truths LLC.
We have our healing journals, the regular version and the Pimo version. Shout out to y'all who have bought it and have really enjoyed it. We're happy to hear about that. And that's about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch y'all in the next one.
Peace.